John Brakey with Audit AZ News. We're here because of the hearing this coming Wednesday. Here's Bill Risner.
Yeah, there's a recall election in Oro Valley where they're trying to recall the mayor and a couple of the council people. What is, kind of interest, one of the ways that those who are being recalled try to defend their position is to get additional candidates to run in the election, because there could be multiple candidates, and that's one way to divide the opposition so that the person who's being recalled will be able to keep their elective spot. So often they then try to find themselves someone to be another opponent to split the opposition, and then sometimes those individuals aren't really motivated to do the paperwork right, to get the signatures right, and do everything properly. And that seems to be what happened here. I mean, one of the candidates who's running for one of the council spots on the petitions used petitions with the entire backside blank, which is something I've never seen happen, and it's pretty astonishing that someone would do that. But it's a real indication that it's a person kind of half-hearted was talked into becoming a candidate to help split the opposition. And it's not quite as bad, but almost the same situation for one of the candidates running for mayor. So that to me is the real interesting part of this, is the apparent recruiting of candidates to split the opposition.
So it's pretty much a game is what's happening here. That they're just trying to subdivide the electorate and get away with being reelected as the incumbents.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely in the gamesmanship arena, because that really it's not a novel approach. In a normal election where you have, with the political parties, you typically have somebody running for one party and another party. You can have an independent, but usually it's like a two-person race. If you're being recalled, then there's a certain amount of opposition, and so the recall election kind of unites the opponents. So the person that's in office, quite obviously, wants to split the opposition, and if they could get three people to run, it would be even better. But in this case, they found, for instance, mayor, one additional person, and we'll see if the mistakes that person made in the petitions is fatal, and they'll be off the ballot or not. That decision will be made Wednesday.
Has the city clerk of Oro Valley took a position? Because she usually is pretty famous for taking a position on these petitions. She blocked something some months back. It was pretty serious.
Well, she did actually, in a funny way, take a position. One of the opponents came in, and on the back of his petition, he didn't have Pima in one spot. Mm-hmm. And she said, "Oh my, I can't accept that petition because of that small error." Another candidate came in that had nothing on the back. For some reason, he must have Xeroxed the front of a blank petition, and so none of them were acceptable for being accepted by the clerk. She said nothing. Another candidate had 10 of his without a circulator's affidavit on the back. She said nothing. So, it's an indication of which side she's on, but that's all. You just look and say, oh, isn't it somewhat curious that when they're running against your bosses, small errors are there, but otherwise big errors don't matter.